All right, so let's talk about Zeus and Apollo's remote collar for their training. So this is going to help us stay consistent and make sure that we follow through with our commands. If we ask Zeus and Apollo to do a command and they do it, they should earn a reward because we're asking them to do something, and it's just like us going to work. When we go to work, we get paid, so if they do the training, they get paid in treats, and this is going to happen until they're really familiar and have a very strong reward history of doing the command. A reward history just means they've done it, they've been rewarded, so they want to continue to do it because it's something that they have a positive association with. Now, if we ask them to do a command and they don't, there needs to be a consequence for that. To make sure that you can follow through with the command, we have the remote collar to help us follow through with these commands. So we're going to start by turning on the remote. So on the back we have this big L button. We are going to push and hold that until it lights up. So we have the 2-dog system. So dog number 1 is going to be Apollo, the black collar. So he is 1D if you look at it, and you'll see that he is at level 30 out of 100 as his correction level. So it's kind of like saying, no, made a mistake, move on. So he is the black S button. We go to turn on Apollo's remote, or I'm sorry, his collar. On the side of your remote, there is a red dot. On the collar itself, there's also a red dot. You're going to touch the two together, and you'll see a green light. Green means it's on and charged. Touch the two together to turn it off at night. So first thing in the morning, we turn his collar on. Now, if I push the black button, you'll see a red light. That means it has stimulated Apollo. So I'll show you. And my thumb might twitch. This is an electric muscle stimulator. So let's say you ask Apollo to go to place or to be on place and he tries to get off. You would say no. See my thumb twitch? You would say no, give the correction, and then repeat the command again. So that is you following through with what you've said. He ignored your command or broke the command before you told him it was okay. You say no and you give the correction. So that is Apollo, the black S button. We're going to turn on Zeus's collar. So same thing, little red button. It's a magnet. The key, turn it on, turn it off. So green means it's on, ready to go. So he is the red button. Now we can't see his level. His is a little bit lower than Apollo's. He's just a little bit more sensitive. So we have over here, we have the T button. So if we push that once, you're gonna see a funky little symbol thing on the remote. So that stands for vibrate. So if you see this symbol and you push Apollo or Zeus, it will vibrate the collars. But this is also a toggle. So if you push it one more time, you will now see Zeus. It'll say dog number 2 at the bottom, plus his level is 25. So just 5 points lower than Apollo. So if you ask Apollo to do something, you'll say no, give a correction. See my thumb twitch a little bit, electric muscle stimulator, and then ask him to do the command again. Whether that's heel, sit, down, place, come, whatever you ask him. If he doesn't listen the first time, you tell him no, here's your correction, say the command again so he understands, okay, I got this correction because I didn't listen to the command the first time. So now it says right here, dog number 2, 25, but if you push Apollo's button, it will automatically stimulate Apollo, and then if you push Zeus, it'll automatically stimulate Zeus. You do not have to switch back and forth. Each button is for each dog. Now we're going to get a little bit confusing because we're going to talk about the boost feature. So the boost feature means it will increase the level of stimulation because the dog is in a very heightened state of arousal or really excited and their regular level isn't working. I haven't needed this for them, but let's say they see something that's really distracting for them that they've never seen before, just for an example, a squirrel, and they decide to take off. And if you try to correct Apollo and it doesn't work, what I want you to do is hold down on Apollo and then push Zeus's button. What it'll do is it will increase from level 30 to level 50. So if you want to boost Apollo, you cannot correct them both at the same time. If you want to correct them both, you have to go 1, 2. You cannot correct them both at the same time. It's just not possible. So you would push down, if Apollo's taking off and you want to get his attention and 30 didn't work, you push down and hold Apollo's button, push Zeus, and it boosts Apollo. Same thing if you want to boost Zeus. You push down on Zeus's button and then push Apollo's. It will boost it. What is his? So plus 20, so to 45 then. So Zeus took off after a squirrel. 25 didn't work. We hold Zeus's button down and then push Apollo's, and we boost him plus 45. I haven't needed this, but you have it in case you need it. And let's say you just want to make sure that the collars are on before you put them on. What I do is I hit the vibrate button, which is the T for toggle. You have that weird symbol, and then I push both just to make sure they're on, and then I tap it, so now you see dog number 1. This also has a flashlight feature. So the back button we use to turn the remote on doubles as a flashlight. So when you look at the remote right here, you see dog number 1 at the top. So that means we're on Apollo's collar. If we want to turn the flashlight on, this button back here, you're going to tap it again. Let's say you want to now have Zeus's flashlight on. You're going to have to toggle vibrate button. So once, weird symbol, twice. Now we see dog number 2 at the bottom. Push it, push it. Now both of their flashlights are on. If you want to turn them off, push it again. We're going to have to toggle back to Apollo. Dog number 1. Ooh, don't correct him. You don't need to correct him. Push this light button back here, turns the flashlight off. Next, we're going to talk about the little button back here, the M/C, that stands for momentary or continuous. So you see when I correct the collars or I push these buttons, it's just a little blink of a light. It's a momentary stimulation. If you push and hold this little button back here, you hear that beep, it changes to continuous. We don't need that feature right now, or at this point in their training. They don't need that. We have this dial. If you push down and hold it, you will unlock the level, and then you can adjust it higher or lower. I think what they're at is good for now. If you think it's too high or too low, let me know before you adjust it and I can walk you through it. But if you want, like dog number 1, Apollo, you would have it on dog number 1 up here, push down and hold it, adjust it, push down and hold it to relock it. Then you would toggle to Zeus, push down and hold it to unlock, adjust it where you want it, push down and hold it to lock it again. But you should not need that feature. So the boys should wear these collars daily. Be consistent. Consistency is key. You want to reward the behaviors you like, because that will mean they'll happen more often. Correct the behaviors you don't like, and that will decrease the rate of the behavior. So put this on first thing in the morning. Throughout the day, you can switch sides, but they can wear this 10 to 12 hours a day unless they get wet. If they get wet, you want to take this off and let their skin and fur dry completely, because if they're wet and moisture gets in there, it could cause bacteria, which could lead to a hot spot or a skin infection. So we want to avoid that. Make sure they're nice and dry and they're not too oily either. So the remote collars go on. Then when you want to take them for a walk or anything like that, they have slip collars. So if my watch right here is the remote collar, the slip collar actually fits on above it, and I'll attach a picture so you can see where the collar is. It should be right under their chin. That way you have total control if you need it. This is to help guide them. They're not off leash trained yet. You still have to work a lot on that and make sure you're consistent, but this is to correct and get them back where they need to be if needed. So you use the remote collar the most, but this is to help guide them. Like if you ask them to sit and they don't, you correct with the remote and you give a little tug upward with the slip collar, and it has a little tab that you slide down to make sure they can't slip out. All right, so these are rechargeable on a full charge. If you shut this off at night, it should last a couple days on a charge. On the back here is the little charging port. So I'm gonna shut this off by pushing and holding the button back here. So I'm gonna push and hold it for a few seconds and it shuts off. If you only tap it, remember that's the flashlight. I'm gonna shut this off by touching the two magnets, and the charging port is right under there. I'm gonna shut Zeus's off. So Apollo's black, Zeus is red. Slide that off to the side. We have their original collars. I put the quick strap bungee. It's a lot easier to put these on and take them off if you don't want them. Here are their original collars, or if these break or anything like that, you have these. This is your charger. You can charge all three at the same time: the remote, the collar, and the other collar. So you can charge them all at the same time. In this little pouch, you have this little light diode. You can, if you have questions if the collar's working, you can put this on the little prongs and make sure that it is working, because there'll be a little light that lights up. And then this is the tool to tighten them. If you take them swimming or anything, I would get this little tool out and tighten the little prongs right here, just to make sure that no water is going to get in and ruin the electronics. They aren't going to need these, but these are longer prongs. It's for long-haired dogs. They don't need that. If you want to go over the instructions, here's the manual for that. And just have fun. Consistency is key. The more you work on the commands daily, the better off they will be. So you have heel, which means walk next to me. Sit, which stay is implied until you tell them free. Down, same thing. Lay down and stay until I tell you free. Place, same thing. Go on the boundary until I tell you free. And come when called. Come back to me when I call you. Sit, get your reward, and then you're free again. So we are going to show you their commands. Come. Good boy. Sit. Good heel. Sit. Zeus, sit. Good boys. Sit. Free. Down. No. Down. Good boy. Down. Good, down. 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 Good boy. Down. Free. Good boy. Down. Down. Good. Down. Down. Boy. Down. 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 Free. Place. Good boys. Place. Good boys. Place. Place. Good. Place. Why is standing so weird? Place. Place. Good place. 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 Zeus, free. Place. 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 Apollo, free. Place. Leave it. Place. place.